Now Trubisky will lead the Bears up to go for 2.
Check 37. Check 37.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he completes it to Cohen. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Brissett, he's going to float this one deep right side. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now it's Trubisky looking deep for Gabriel. He's got a man, complete, and all the way down to the 36-yard line. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they'd take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here, and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. To throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky. That is caught by Cohen. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 21. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Set to resume. Here we go with the 2nd half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they're leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the 2nd half.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. This time, Trubisky will throw. Dancing to his left, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football. Now zapped right back in the other direction. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, 77 yards as the Bears push further out in front. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
That time a 6-play drive, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Brissett. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. Brissett to throw on first. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Another try after the first down sack. Brissett. He's got Jack Doyle. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That's good for 28 yards.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll try again here. Goal. Now Brissett. Well, he's got it. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. End zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Hines. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the left.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield. To try again after the sack. Trubisky gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot.
And now look at him go.
Wrap up.
Still moving. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 42 yards. So they had him bottled up, able to make a man miss, and then boom, off to the races.
And it's how he made him miss. A little bit of strength, too. Had to work through contact to get him off of him. And then once he did that, now he put his agility to use and took off.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Back now in Indianapolis. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. The Bears on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Oh, there's a nice move by Robinson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there of 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Taking it in from 4 yards out as the Bears push further out in front. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Bears push further out in front. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a second time for 6 points.
And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when I just percent of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
I'm scared.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain.
And he takes this one. And for a Colts touchdown. Nyheim Hines, 47 yards. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 27-13. Home for the Colts is a touchdown. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Trubisky gives to Cohen. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Danico Autry is in on the stop.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. On the ground, it's Montgomery. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Montgomery. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this is Gabriel on the catch. Continuing to fight for more. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Downfield offense.
Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. On second down, it's Cohen. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even changed game planning a little bit in order to make things better for them.
A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. Here's Brissett. This to Hines on the drop-off. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it second down. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Brissett taken in by the tight end Doyle. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He'll check this down to Hines. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. Carr now on first down. That is incomplete.
They're trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now a carry for Jacobs. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Let's go to the middle of the Baltimore defense where Brandon Williams holds court, and we often talk about how difficult it is to stop a big-time runner. How about trying to stop a big-time guy in the middle who wreaks havoc both with pass rush and against the run? Brandon Williams went to his first Pro Bowl at the end of the 2018 season.
Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. That right there is what Jalen Richard can bring to this offense. I mean, last year, yes, he had 55 carries, but they used him more as a receiver. He had 68 catches in 2018, which was tied for the team lead. Really adds a nice element to the backfield for Derek Carr and company. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Carr completes it, and he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. This is Jalen Richard, the 4th-year man from Southern Miss. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
And that's one of the reasons we like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
To throw is Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Darren Waller, 35 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Lamar Jackson brings out the Baltimore Ravens. Such an electric season for the team, for Lamar Jackson. And, Charles, he became just the 2nd quarterback to top 1,000 yards rushing, 2nd to Michael Vick, who has 1,039. Lamar Jackson now just 22 yards behind him after the win against Buffalo in Week 14.
So what you're saying is that could be 1 carry in his next game.
Yep.
And he could have the record. An incredible season, 21 total touchdowns, just 1 interception in his last 6 games, all of them wins, and just the amazing things that he does on the field. Did you see the play last week? They just flipped the pass out to his tight end, Nick Boyle. All they needed was to play Sweet Georgia Brown like the Harlem Globetrotters music, because he does it all. The man is a wizard with the football.
He gets away from 1. Yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory. Line. This time Jackson will throw it. And an alley to run. 16 yards. Raven first.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Spinning past him, and he'll be brought down the 5-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Ingram. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
Jackson. Down, Baltimore. Taking out as his guys are on the board.
All the way, but he just kept buying time.
And he takes off with it. It's a fake. Now he goes spin. And he's in for 2. The fake works, and they take the lead.
Someone really wanted to be in the lead here because that's a heck of a gamble, isn't it? You're down 1, you kick it, you got a tie ball game. Instead, they fake it. And I keep coming back to this every time I see it. Remember, if you're faking an extra point now, the ball stopped at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, you're giving up 13 yards as opposed to just lining up at the 2 and saying you're going to go for 2.
You're running a big play, lots of yards. But it paid off in this case.
Before Oakland starts this next drive, Charles, it's starting to look like there's not going to be that fairy tale ending to the Raiders' tenure in Oakland. They were 6-4, but now 3 straight losses. They're 6-7. This most recent defeat, 42-21 to Tennessee.
And they were playing well. There's no getting around it. They were starting to scare people around the league, especially Kansas City within their own division. We were looking at a possible Kansas City-Oakland matchup that could have ramifications within the division. But I think that the Raiders were a little bit ahead of pace. They have a chance to be a playoff team, but I thought this year that was a little bit of a stretch, and we finally saw it because they've been outscored 116-33 in the last 3 weeks.
And because of this losing streak, it would appear that the Week 15 game is going to be the final curtain for NFL football in the East. Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas next fall. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's second down. Now they'll throw with Carr. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. It reminds me of what one great tight end. Throw it up there, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball.
Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year.
And the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now it's Jackson, eluding the pressure right. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he's going to get this one. 12. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. But now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman